have a nice, exciting show. You wake up in the morning and I'm like, alrighty, we're going to be joined
It's
shortly.
spring and we have such vibrant people. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
what better than that, right?
Exactly. There's nothing better than that. We're going to be joined shortly on the show by Victoria Proscia, image consultant and stylist at the House of Color Charlottesville. Then later in the show by Katie Tots of Supporting Local Seville. And last but certainly not least, it's our monthly meetup with Matthias Yohn going to be joining us from Matthias Yohn Realty.
Seems like yesterday we did that.
I know. It's so much fun. It's like the time flies. I just look forward to the next one. It's like, oh, good. I was so happy because we had them like both booked on the calendar.
Yeah.
So as soon as the last month's ended, I was like, oh man, when's the next one? Because it's so much fun just talking with Matthias. I went to the calendar. I'm like, oh, there it is. It's already booked. Perfect. And now here it is. I was glad. I was like, when I got back, I was like, oh, dude, I don't miss it. So it's going to be fantastic. We have a lot to talk about. So many events coming up to talk about that I'm going to be. I mean, there's Castle Hill Cider, there's Charlottesville Opera, like so many things to do this summer. I think that's going to be
That's the beauty about spring and summer and sometimes obviously even fall here in Charlottesville is that there's something to do every single weekend, and these coming events are very special. Especially,
exactly.
I mean, for me, especially, at least only because I like it, but the opera, I mean, I think that's going to be very special.
Oh, that's going to be fantastic. I'm looking
even Guys
forward
and
to
Dolls.
that. Tremendous. Well, Guys and Dolls is a great musical.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Guys and Dolls is, that's my opinion. I am a big fan of the original, and I suspect this version is going to be much better in the sense that whoever they have
I think we
singing,
said that last time.
Yeah, whoever they have singing is going to be
Michael and I talked about
far better than Marlon Brando.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a big improvement hearing Luck Be a Lady Tonight and not hearing someone actually sing it as opposed to Marlon Brando speaking it.
Speaking it, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be great. Just a great time of year to be in Charlottesville and a great time of year to support so many local businesses.
Yes. Yeah,
so like the ones we're going to feature today. So
exactly, that's the beauty.
I am looking forward to it tremendously. It's going to be an awesome show, and I'm glad to be part of it. So be sure to like and share. Send us comments, questions, any thoughts you may have. See, I'm at the top of my game here.
You are. That was supposed to be my line.
Just in case.
I forgot all about it already.
I know.
I'm so excited to have you back.
Exactly. Just in case you thought there was any honeymoon holdover, like, man, he doesn't remember what the heck he's doing. I do remember. I could not forget. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Today y Mañana. I'm Alex. This is Xavier. We're very excited to have you joining us this morning on a beautiful morning here in Charlottesville, Virginia. Now, it's so beautiful that it's a little allergy this morning, so if you see me sneezing in the middle of the show, just know.
I had that a couple of weeks ago. I had a terrible allergy attack just before I came on the show, and Jerry saved me by giving me a throat lozenge or two to it because I was ready to cough and stuff. And he said, well, that guy's in trouble. Let me give him something.
No, it's bad. I mean, you can't control when it happens. You're just sitting there.
I know.
I'm sitting there in the office and my eyes. I'm like, no, not 15 minutes before the show. But that's the price to pay for such beautiful flowers outside.
Absolutely.
And such greenery.
Yeah. Did you have any allergies while you were on your honeymoon?
Yep.
Oh, you did?
Okay. Not in Italy because it was pretty dry and well, dry when it wasn't raining. It rained a lot. Please do be praying for people there. They've had a lot of flooding in Italy, especially in the poorer regions. But unfortunately, as soon as I hit Switzerland and Germany, it's spring there. Like just the beginning of spring. So gorgeous at all these wildflowers and everything. I just want to walk around and smell the flowers, and then I'm like, no, wait. It's a very bad idea. I do not want to be smelling the flowers. So I definitely had some allergy there.
So you just took pictures of them and said, now you can smell the
picture. Yeah, I took pictures of them from far away and said, oh, look, what a pretty flower. I was smelling the flowers vicariously.
Exactly.
I told my wife to smell the flowers and said, tell me how nicely they smell. And then that'll work. They were even selling flowers. There was a huge flower market in Lucerne that was very, very pretty. So they were even selling flowers there. It's that time of year. So it was very nice.
Well, it's great to have you back, Alex.
Oh, it's good to be here with you. You know, I always love it, always appreciate just the amazing people we have on, the great audience already. Johnny Ornelas, amigo del programa, thank you for liking and sharing the show this morning. So already our audience is reminding me why.
Your fan base is back.
It's back. You know, I'm glad to be here. It's always a pleasure. Nicholas Erpy, I see, is liking the show this morning. He's one of our biggest fans. Well, we got a great show lined up for you. We're going to be joined shortly by Victoria Proscia. She is an image consultant and stylist at the House of Color Charlottesville. As well as later in the show, Katie Cox of Supporting Local Civil, and of course Matthias Yon for a monthly meetup with Matthias, talking some local business, maybe some a little bit about the giveaway that we are having.
Right.
So be sure to check out the giveaway. There are so many things that you can win on this giveaway. I think it's like $700 worth of giveaway. You can find it on
I've been trying
Facebook.
to figure out why I can't do that.
Why you can't enter?
I mean, just because I host it doesn't mean like I'm
can't
going to put like 50 names and say Xavier Erpy and pick it out.
And Xavier really wants to enter this giveaway, so you just have to.
They all sound so good. Wajitos, I love Wajitos. I mean, I love the Turkish place, Castle Hill. I mean, everything.
Fantastic.
So,
fantastic. And so easy. I mean, literally, all you got to do is you go to the Facebook or the Instagram. There's probably more. Nick can correct me if I'm wrong.
That's already a challenge.
That's
for me,
already,
that's okay.
Facebook or Instagram. You like it, you share it, and you comment and tag 2 people in your comment.
Okay.
I mean, all of us should have at least 2 friends on Instagram. You know, just find those 2 people that, you know, you annoy them all the time, and just annoy them one more time by saying, look, I'm tagging you because I want free stuff. You should tag me back for some free stuff. So it's super easy to do. Today, Mañana, there's the Facebook page, there's the group, there's the Instagram page. There's so many ways to do it, and it's so easy. You do not have to. This is not one of those giveaways where you have to, like, put your email in a thing, and then you're going to get a bunch of emails from us and from tons of other people, businesses. It's not that kind of giveaway. It's not like, oh man, now I'm on a newsletter and I can't unsubscribe. You literally just have to tag the 2 people on Instagram, and boom, you're done.
That's pretty easy.
It's super easy, and it does not cost you anything. It's not like, you know, oops, it's a $20 subscription to. No, there is no subscription to Today Mañana.
To the Today Mañana magazine.
No, exactly. Today Mañana is free and will remain free. You do not have to pay to watch Today Mañana. So it is really easy to do. Would definitely encourage people to do it. So many events coming up. Speaking of Castle Hill, right? 231 Fest coming up on June 10th. So
and 11th,
do not miss that. June 10th is the 231 Fest.
Sorry, yes.
So that's going to be huge. I mean, if you thought Days of Rosé was beautiful, 231 Fest is just like blows it out of the water. So much bigger, so much grander. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun, family friendly. Saturday, June 10th at Castle Hill. I mean, there are a few places in Charlottesville that are probably more beautiful in June.
Yeah.
Or any month for that matter, but especially June than Castle Hill.
Really
the land there, the places, the cider. It's the perfect time to be enjoying some cider. So be sure to check that out. CastleHillCider.com. Very easy to get those tickets. Then, of course, you got the opera, if you love your music. I mean, Charlottesville Opera, so many things. I mean, first off, Guys and Dolls, June 23rd, 24th, 25th. So you have 3 days. You have a Friday, a Saturday, I believe it's a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday.
No excuses.
In which you can see Guys and Dolls. So if this is your first time, that's a great introductory thing. If you're like, oh man, I've never sat for music with people singing for 4 hours in a different language before. Well, try to listen to people singing in English.
In English, that's right.
For a few hours. And you'll really, and trust me, once you do, you will see the quality of Charlottesville Opera, and then you will instantly be booking your tickets for Tosca on July 14th and 16th. So notice they give you just enough time. Like, you can go to Guys and Dolls and be this is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if they did that on purpose. That was pretty smart, right?
It's clever, yeah. It makes total sense. You'll see how great it is, and then book your tickets for Tosca.
Yeah, one of the best operas ever.
Which is a fantastic opera. It's very accessible, very enjoyable, very dramatic. I can tell you there is some definite drama that will happen. And it sounds like the way Charlottesville Opera is going to do it is going to be impressively dramatic.
Oh, wow.
You know, I've heard, I can't say more than that there may be an actual leap. I will say no more. I won't say who's leaping, what's sleeping.
And where?
You'll have to go.
Where is this?
You have to go and find out about the leap. And then, of course, July 1st at the the Teen Pavilion, they're having the festival, which is like, you'll hear a little bit of Charlottesville opera. There's sort of a taste for the different things. Very family friendly at the Teen Pavilion right here downtown.
Right.
So be sure to check that out if you're thinking, okay, yeah, I want to sort of put my toe in the water, get to know Charlottesville opera a little bit more. Great event for you to go and attend and just see what it's about, see what it's like. Bring your kids, bring the family, and just really enjoy a great time at the Teen Pavilion.
All right.
So much going on there. Of course, always love being here on I Love CVille Network set. It's nice to see Judah behind the camera den, looking good as always. You know, sometimes I'm like, oh man,
you're so kind.
He's so good that I'm like, he should be on the show. And but we're always glad to be here. Of course, love being presented by Emergent Financial Services and powered by our good friends Castle Hill Cider, Matiacion Realty, Charlottesville Opera, our good friends Miguel and Chit at Credit Sirius Insurance, and Forward Adelante, the premier Latino networking group here in Charlottesville, Virginia. So there you go. There you have it. I mean,
That's perfect.
I mean, man, there's so many great things to do.
There really
I feel
is.
like my opening
on.
rundown. I'm starting to feel like Jerry's opening rundown. He's got like the table of contents on the side of I Love CVille show, which you should check out at 12:30. But like he's got the rundown there, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna need that table of contents soon with all these events coming down. But it's fantastic, and I don't know about you, I'm excited to jump into today's.
Sure, I'd like to learn a little more about House of Color. Try to figure out what that means and what that is.
Yeah, we're excited to welcome to the show this morning Victoria Procia. She is image consultant and stylist, and I believe operating manager here in Charlottesville for the House of Color. Victoria, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Well, thank you all so much for having me.
That's great to have you. Great to have you on. So, for those who aren't familiar with you or with House of Color, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you first became interested in this line of work.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was full steam ahead in the healthcare industry, and I would walk into my closet in the morning to pick out my clothes, and I would just have a little bit of a headache, and my husband would almost get a little irritated with me when I would say I have nothing to wear. And I actually had so much to wear. Nothing just really went together or mixed and matched well. And so I decided I was going to go get my colors done by a consultant down in Durham, North Carolina, and she was relatively one of the closest ones to me. Ultimately, I went to the appointment, and I realized everyone needs to do this. Everyone needs to know this information. And so being an image consultant is really, really fun. It's also just an experience that never gets old. And so to have clients that will sit in my chair and be draped in all of the colors and kind of figure out what color palette works for them, they now have the opportunity to walk into their closet and not feel like it's a headache. Everything will mix and match with one another. They'll know their best neutrals, but also their best colors.
So we're talking about clothing also here.
We're talking 100% about the colors that you wear, making you look more bright and approachable. There are actually colors that will make you look tired and like you don't feel very well. And so it can be a really impactful process for a client to sit there, and they might be really loving olive green, especially during the fall. But it just might not make them look like they got the full 8 hours of sleep last night.
Gotcha.
And they put on an emerald green, and they actually look way more approachable and friendly. And so it's my job to be able to have all of that extensive training and knowledge to then share with my clients about what they should be seeing in the changes in their skin. And they don't have to know right away what those changes are, but they will say like, okay, I see a difference, but like, what's going on here, you know? And so then it's really great to be able to walk them through that.
Does it change in, because I mean, obviously when I think of spring and summer, they're more vibrant colors. Like I mean, frankly, I'm a blue kind of guy, right? So if you look at my wardrobe means basically shirts, right? They're like 90% blue because it's the color that I like.
You better hope you look good in blue. That better be your color.
So. After 67 years, too late maybe. But anyway, but my point is, so the different seasons also, have anything to do with changing the color that you wear? Because I always figured like in fall you have different, there's I hate to say the oranges or the browns or whatever, and then in the winter it's more dark colors. Or should that not be impacting what you wear?
Yeah, so to go back to your fear about blue, every single season gets a blue,
Okay.
or multiple blues to be exact. And so what we figure out at first is, do your undertones crave yellow-based colors or what we call warm colors? Those seasons are actually going to be autumn and spring. And then our cool colors, which can be a little confusing since summer is not temperature-wise a cool season, but those are our blue-based colors that are going to come out of those palettes. So in that first part of the draping process, we do put some blues on you, but we also will put a whole bunch of other colors on you to determine what your skin's doing between those warm and those cool colors. And then from there, we figure out, well, what if you end up being warm, which is a yellow-based season, what blues do you need that harmonize with your warm drapes?
Okay.
And so it can be a pretty, it is a very extensive
Yeah.
process, but don't worry, you won't lose blue.
So what's the process like?
Thank
So
you.
someone walks in the door, right, or gives you a call and says, "All right, Victoria, I'm ready. I've never done this before. I need some help." What's the initial process of working with you like? What can they kind of expect to happen?
For sure. So they would just book through my online website, and then they come to my home. My studio is inside of my home. It's right to the left. So if you're, fearful of stairs or anything like that, no one has to worry about that. The room is full of a ton of natural light. I have my client walk in with no makeup on, and if you self tan or anything like that, I have you completely exfoliate all of that off, just so we're really
Okay.
seeing your outer tones from the start, which can sometimes differ from your undertones, which is a whole nother conversation we can have another day. But then they walk in, if they're wearing glasses, I might have them remove those glasses during some parts of the draping process, just in case their rims are a little bit, more colorful, or maybe a neutral that's not their best. And yeah, we just go from there, but we have to have that appointment during the day. It cannot be done in those evening hours just because there's no sunlight.
Yes, then you put
Yeah.
on artificial light, which would change.
Yes.
the
So,
tones.
and one of the cool things about House of Color is that we are completely rooted in color science that comes from that natural lighting. So we don't use an artificial light, no ring light, anything like that. But we go all the way back to the 1930s when it comes to the color science that we're rooted in. It's called Johannes Itten color theory, and that's where we discover that every single color in the universe, except for one color, is either influenced by yellow or blue. What do you guys think that color is? That is not influenced at all
By
by
either
yellow or
one.
blue.
White?
I'll go black.
White and black. Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna
Okay, it's actually a true red. Everyone
red.
in the world can wear a true red. Yeah, and so
Interesting.
when you come into the studio, I'm going to show you a true red drape against all of the seasons, and you'll see perfect harmony with all of the seasons. Now, if you end up
my
being,
favorite color.
Oh, do you
I was
like
like,
red?
yes.
Good.
My favorite color.
Good.
You even have a red hat somewhere.
Yeah.
that's
I'm
got
good.
From Germany.
I'm set.
From
I'm
Germany
set.
or something.
So good, yeah. So every single season gets they're better than true red, but you can always wear true red.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting. I never would have guessed that.
No matter what season, no matter
matter
what
what
color
season.
tone, undertone, two-tone, three-tone you have, that's
a true
amazing.
red. That's
It works for everyone.
fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Look,
so
I love
neat.
Seville. No wonder you look good behind that.
There you go. I always look
heart.
good.
Yeah.
This backdrop.
A lot of logos.
I didn't have to worry about the backdrop when we were taking pictures earlier. I was like, this is perfect.
It's great. It's great. And man, you already got a lot of fans liking the show this morning. Cheryl Lynn Council, Kelly Wasala, Maggie Duddles Forniker, Bill McChesney, thanks for watching the show. John Blair, thanks for watching the show this morning. Loving the show. Brittany Kellaway, Kimberly Boyd, Fine Art, thanks for loving the show this morning. Liked it. Christy Martin, Michael Fleury, Kimberly Pembleton, Maiden, thanks so much for joining us. So you were bringing them in. You got
Sure. I mean, that's exciting. I mean,
This
the
is,
one thing.
yeah.
To be honest with you, the one thing, whether you're male or female, right? You get up in the morning, you look outside the window, and kind of you feel good, not feel good. Sometimes you open your closet and you got to figure out what to wear. I mean, me, it's
Yeah.
not like I just go like this, grab it, and thinking, what should I wear today for today, mañana?
Yeah.
Right? So it's nice to have that idea as to, this is kind of what it is today. I woke up, I got bags on my eyes, so therefore I should wear this particular color or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and as a new mom, there were many nights where I wasn't sleeping that well, and so to know my best colors, it really does make you feel so much brighter and better versus wearing a color that will actually naturally not make you look that way.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, might accentuate it, because then you feel, all right, maybe I didn't sleep well, but at least I'm now my color is counteracting.
Yeah, and it's great because your season never changes. So whether you're 8 weeks old or 80 years old, you're the same season your whole life. So it really is this valuable process, and it's a one-time appointment. You come and get all of this information. You leave with a couple of resources, and it's great because you can. As you've gone through the process, what are kind of those services, those deliverables that people can expect? All right, I come out of this with. Yes. So we have a fan. I'm actually going to show it to anyone who's watching right now.
Sure, yeah. One of these fans?
Not quite. It's not a fan. Well, I guess you could use it to, if you're a little bit hot in a situation. But this is, for example, my personal fan. I am a winter, but we obviously have them for autumn, spring, and summer. And in this fan are all of the swatches of those pieces of drapes that I put on you during your appointment. So it's really great because now you can use these swatches to look at items in a store and ask yourself, do I see harmony within my season? Now, one of the things that House of Color has recently implemented in these fans are the snapshots of the other seasons. So you can think like, oh, that blue is really great, but when we put this up to Xavier's shirt, it actually works better for summer. And so you can see the snapshots of the other seasons in comparison to what you're wearing. So you can see here summer against my shirt looks a little dull versus winter, you can see it's in perfect harmony.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Right.
So you learn all about this in your hour and a half long appointment if you come for a private appointment. And then you leave with this resource, and you also leave with a booklet all about color combinations and the best colors in your palette, and makeup as well. So during your appointment, we will do what's called a 90-second face. It's a very natural face of makeup, but less is more when you know your colors. And then after that, we'll take your before and after picture, and then we end the appointment by telling you what your sub-season is. So you not only will be, say, a summer, but you could be a sweet pea summer or a dark summer. And so you have a part of your palette where if you're going to a wedding, you're wearing one of those specific colors in your palette.
Just you matching.
A little bit more fine-tuned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, how interesting. I would have never.
Well, if you have known that for your wedding, you could have been waiting.
I know, I should have.
A little late now.
We should have had you on before my wedding. No. But so out of curiosity, when you say someone is like your season for life, so once you know the palette, you don't have to worry. Like for someone like me who tans greatly in the summer, but then changes in it, you don't have to worry like, oh man, in the summer I have to wear completely different things than in the. Well, I know. In other words, you don't have to worry that your own color tone is changing.
Correct, right? Because that's what your skin is naturally doing in the sun. Yeah, no artificial coloring or anything.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. Wow. And sometimes with makeup too, and why makeup is such a big part of the appointment is, a warm blush, for example, right now is really trending in the beauty industry. Well, if that's not your best blush, well, here, let's talk through your best blushes. And so it can kind of be a money saver financially as well to not be shopping for the colors that don't make you look approachable.
That's
Yeah, it saves you. In other words, instead of constantly shifting with the latest trend, you know what is kind of your permanent trend. In other words, this combination will always make you look good.
It will always work for you. Yeah. So.
That's fantastic.
That's so interesting.
It is wild, and it's still, even from doing this for over a year and a half now, I've seen about 250 clients. That it never gets old. Like just the aha on people's faces, and once they see it, they can't unsee it. They'll walk into that emerald green or the olive or whatever. It might not be their best green, and they're like, okay, that's a little bit of a closet gap I need to fill because that didn't make me look super happy.
Oh, how interesting! How interesting. Yeah. So, what are the different varieties of clients that you work with? I mean, so for someone out there, I mean, is it mostly women, or is it? I mean, can anyone kind of come in? What are the different types of clients you've worked with in the past?
Oh, yeah. Men, women, kids, people of all the different ethnicities and ages. It's really fascinating. I have, even the youngest clients come at like 20, 21 years old, kind of in that college range. And they have that information with them, like now as they're about to exit college, get into their careers.
That's right. Yeah.
And they're being able to show up for interviews in colors that make them look, very poised and professional, and they feel good, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So at that pivotal point in your life, and then I have, you know, my clients that are in their 60s and 70s, and they're like, well, I wish I would have known this, you know, this information my whole life. But it's never too late to know your color.
No, it isn't. It isn't.
No, it
then
really
you,
isn't,
then
yeah.
you go. I mean, we know people, you know, in their 60s, 70s, the life of the party. So you're like, dang, you know, she looks good for her age. You always want to.
Well, I think it's probably a confidence booster too, right? Because now
Yeah.
you're going dressed, knowing
Absolutely.
that you are going dressed in the best color that make you look, you know, the best, fantastic.
And what I like is the notion it's not just about like it's looking good as we typically perceive it, but also looking healthy, looking energized. Like like you said, there are colors you can see it. Sometimes there are colors that, oh man, he doesn't look well today.
Like, have you ever been told you look tired? Like, oh, you look tired today.
Or green, I've been told like sometimes, oh, you're looking a little green today. You know,
Yeah.
you're feeling well.
It's reflection of the shirt.
I can tell you that since I've had my colors done, I have not once heard that. So it is a very impactful process, and it gets you compliments a lot, and who doesn't want that?
Yeah, exactly. So that's a confidence booster for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. Becca Nepon watching the show this morning. So, man, you were bringing them in. Lots of.
Oh, am I?
Yes, you are.
Good.
It's very. I guess it's,
Everybody
you
wants
know
to
what it
look
is?
good.
Everyone
Yeah.
wants to look good and learn
Yeah.
more about how, you know, what's the way to look most like the way. I feel like it's aligning what you wear to how you were made, how you were
Yeah.
born.
Yeah,
Exactly.
how you're uniquely created. So I'm very, very excited to continue seeing clients throughout the summer. It's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, what if people are interested? Say, all right, I'm ready to give Victoria a call. So what's the best way to get in touch with you and find out more?
Yeah, so I am a big email gal, so you can email me at victoria.proscia@houseofcolor.com. But if you forget that, you can just go to House of Color on the internet and you can search by zip code, because if you don't live here in Charlottesville and say you're tuning into the show from somewhere else, there is likely a consultant near you. And so all you have to do is put in your zip code. There are over 200 consultants across the United States. And yeah, so that's how you get kind of in touch with one of us if it's not myself.
Absolutely. All right.
200. So you're unique,
So
actually.
you could be anywhere, but you don't want to get in touch specifically with Victoria if you're here in the Charlottesville
That's right.
area.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the right
Absolutely.
person to get in touch with.
Go find your right color.
Exactly.
Colors.
Victoria, this has been such a pleasure. I feel
Yeah,
I've learned so much. I had no idea.
No, me neither. I said
I'm
House of
so
Color.
glad
I
you
thought it
feel
was
more
like painting
educated.
the house, different colors. I had no idea. This is great.
No, it's fantastic.
Fantastic.
But to be honest, I mean, image consultant, I was just thinking of like, Hollywood movies. There's The Kid with Bruce Willis where he tells people what to do and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is it? But I feel like, man, I just blow my mind with the
I
colors.
was going to
and-
email you ahead of time and give you a heads up, but I was like, nah, we'll
No, this
just.
is
No,
great.
then it makes it
Absolutely.
more fun. Then I get to, I get to be like, oh my goodness, I'm just wide-eyed with like what I've learned today. So this has been
Good.
fantastic. Thanks so much for
Thank
coming
you so
by.
much, Victoria.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Good luck with that baby.
Fantastic.
And thank you.
Take care. Good to
Thank
have you on.
you. Thanks, guys.
Says
That's exciting.
That is.
You know?
That is really.
Because
really
let's be honest,
neat.
that's true, right? Sometimes there are times where you have that favorite shirt or whatever, and you don't know what it is, but you look at yourself, you say,
You feel
yeah,
it,
you
yeah.
feel good. You feel good. It's like this must be my lucky shirt,
So that-
because I feel good. It makes so that's what it is. It's
Well,
probably
the
that
science
color.
behind it.
Yeah.
Well, and just how many people probably made. Get up and be told like, oh man, are you feeling? You looking a little green, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh man, what's the matter with me? Why do I not look good today? And it could be something as simple as the shirt
The
you're
shirt you're
wearing.
wearing,
Just
exactly.
change the
The
shirt,
color, yeah.
and you'll feel like, oh man, I'm looking. I look healthy today.
You know, or that makeup that I put that morning. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, just something as simple as that.
Yeah.
And you're here thinking, oh, what did I do? I need to eat different vegetables and change my diet. I must not be looking
I
good.
got to eat more carrots, like a little more orangey,
Or,
maybe.
yeah, exactly. And it could be something completely different.
Yeah.
So it's just that's fantastic. So hence why we love having local businesses on.
Absolutely,
Because we learn incredible things such as this. So that I have some more people. Candace Tots watching the show this morning. Thank you for watching. I wonder why Candace Tots is watching. It could be because we're very excited to have our next guest, which is Katie Tots of Supporting Local Seville. Katie, thanks so much for joining us
Good
this
morning, Katie.
Thank you for having me. I've been so excited for this.
Oh, same here. We've been looking forward to it. So, for those who aren't familiar with you, I mean, a lot of people are in Charlottesville, considering I know you were a Best of Seville 2022 local influencer, and
Yes.
going for Best of Seville 2023
Yes.
as well. So people to go to that Best of Seville voting and go ahead and make sure they vote for you. They'll want to after this interview, for sure. But tell us about yourself and sort of the origin of supporting Lotro Seville, how you thought of it, how you decided to go down this road.
Yeah, so I actually am originally from Northern Virginia. I moved here, I think, like 7 or 8 years ago with my mom. And I went to Radford. I got a communications degree. And then after that, I went into radio. I had a radio internship at Monticello Media. And like I got to practice on air and stuff. It was super fun. But I used social media a lot to like connect with new businesses and like engage with my clients more for radio. And then I realized like, oh, I really like designing stuff on Canva, which is like a how people make like social media templates.
Posters, and you can use it for posters, Instagram stories, Facebook stories.
Right. So I was like, wait, I really like doing social media kind of stuff and like designing, and I've always been really creative. So then I ended up making my own business. It was an online retail store, and I branded the entire thing by myself.
Wow.
And yeah, it's pretty cool. It was a lot of work, but it was like fun. So then after that, I was like, wait, I don't have a storefront for my business. So what do other business owners that don't have a storefront do for advertising? And especially if they're like a smaller business and they can't afford that, like that kind of marketing, then how can I help them?
Exactly.
So then that's where Supporting Local Seville came from. And that account just grew so fast on Instagram, which was like awesome. And Charlottesville is very like small business supportive and minded.
I think so.
It's true.
Yeah, but so that's how that came about. And what I use that account for is I go around to businesses and I make them like reels. If like they don't have any social media, then I take pictures for them, I create content, and then I share it. And people actually have came up to me so many times and they've told me like, oh, I didn't know about this business until you posted about it. And it's like, that's so cool.
That's incredible.
I think that's the idea. So I mean, this is an area where, you know, obviously has exploded over the last, let's say, 10 years or so, right? But it's an amazing, you know, you said it perfectly, right? There's a lot of, you know, small businesses that will have a store or will have something, and so, you know, you could see them, right? But there's others that are just pure service, and they may be out of their own house or some other place, but they don't have the wherewithal to advertise. And this is obviously an amazing way. I mean, you found a niche there where you can help these businesses, you know, just come to the forefront and say, like you said, people say, I didn't know that existed. And as you said, I think there's lots of small businesses, not only in Charlottesville, but, you know, everywhere where they have that challenge.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, so what are some of the common challenges that sometimes you'll encounter? Like, okay, when people have a small business but they've got no marketing presence, what are kind of your first things that you're looking for to say, all right, here's where we need to start?
So usually I just message them. I say like, how can I help you? Like, I see that you don't have any pictures of bracelets that you make. Like if there's like no bracelets, but there's a bunch of just like templates on 20% off or just words. You know, you need pictures. And also a big thing with social media is if you're a business owner and you're trying to get your audience to trust you more, is to put your face on your account. Because when people see a face, like they're gonna be able to trust you more and know that like, oh, okay, there's a real person behind that product and I want to help support them. So
that makes total sense.
It does, yeah.
And Candace says, comment here, so many small businesses need help in the world of social media. And I mean, speaking
Without
from
a
experience,
doubt, yeah.
I mean, because you come in, right, when you start a business and you're good at what you do, you're good at what the service is, but sometimes you're not a master of all the different techniques of marketing. And social media is one of those things where it changes.
Right.
So I'll never forget, 2014 when we started our previous company, Belltower Associates, right, doing economic research, and get on Facebook, start the Facebook account, the company business, learn all how to do that. Go up to New York, cousin Amanda, I'm on Facebook now for the first time. She goes, oh, Alex, Only old people are on Facebook. I'm on Instagram now. And I'm like, what's Instagram? Because by the time you're trying to learn one thing, there's something new. And then Instagram itself changes over time what is popular, videos, images, what kinds of images. So it's just always to have someone like you who's sort of keeping up with that and just knows it.
Right.
And must take so much load off the small business owner to know in depth an area that's just not their forte.
Yeah, so I like helping out.
So how do you I mean, when you come across a business, right, and there may be, maybe one sells, bracelets and somebody else sells something else.
Yeah.
How do you, from your creative juices, I don't have creative juices, I'm a math guy, right? So how do you come up with the ideas of like, wow, this is going to work for this particular company or that company? How do you come up with that? I mean, how does that formulate in your brain?
So the first thing that I just thought of is finding that company or that business's target audience and target customer. And the way that you can do that, say it's bracelets, obviously it's going to be mostly females that are going to buy that. So you can use a lot of tools now on Instagram and Facebook for advertising, and like you can promote certain posts and you can target in on the exact kind of person you want to reach. So, I mean, I think that's what I would do.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's your first thought is, what's the product?
Yep.
Who are they trying to sell to, and how do I then connect them?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Fantastic. Lots of people continue to join us. Dylan Kuhn, Tony Hensley, Christine Nittel, Sandridge, all watching the show. Taylor Dudley, thanks for watching the show this morning. Scott Hamler, another great marketing minded, says, he comments, he says, Katie is awesome. He says, you're awesome.
I love
He
that.
says, Katie's awesome. Candace, so true. Love how you are coming from a place of contribution and service. Nicholas Erpe says, just to show you the power of your page, he says he found Victoria through your page for the first time.
Oh, wow.
So that's where
I didn't know that.
he connected
love
with
that.
Victoria. And then audience member Katie Pearl, she's got a question for you. So she says, when doing social media for a business, how do you typically charge? Is it like per post, reel, or is it like a monthly ongoing for people who are kind of interested in saying, hey, that would be helpful?
So for supporting local CVille, I don't charge anything. That's completely free.
Just help out. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But then I also recently just started my own social media freelance contracting business. And I'm just working with contractors right now and kind of whoever needs the help. But it's really cool that from that supporting local account, people want to work with me further and actually
Get a little more in depth, do some more, absolutely.
Yeah, get more in depth with it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's a great way. So yes, you're doing this. It's a great service you're doing for the community, and then it kind of leads to, okay, yeah, I could use a little bit more than even just this.
Right.
Kelly Wasala asks, what are some of the either favorite clients, favorite stories from supporting local CVille that you've helped?
I don't know about stories exactly, but I've had people just walk up to me on the downtown mall and I don't recognize them, but they recognize me. They're like, you're supporting local CVille. Sometimes they don't even know my first name. So it's I don't know. That's, I guess, a funny story.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it's so cool.
Katie Pro says she'd love to chat with you.
Oh,
so
awesome.
We'll get you that contact info.
Oh, that'd be great.
Katie, absolutely. So I know a big part of obviously supporting local CVille is the local part. That it's people that are here. It's not brands in distant places.
Right.
I wanted your thoughts on if you had to sum up what's kind of your answer to the classic question of why buy local?
Well, you're supporting your own community. I don't really know how to sum it up very much, but I mean, why wouldn't you want to support the area that you live in and the people that you interact with on a daily basis? And when you walk into a store, the business owner that you're talking to lives down the street probably. Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to support them,
Yeah.
So.
And that's perfect. That's the truth, right?
That's the truth of it.
You know how many towns, you drive through USA, and how many small towns have just kind of the downtown area has just fallen apart. Why?
Yeah.
Because they nothing against these places, but you get the Walmarts and the Targets, and everybody goes there, right? But as opposed to these are the people that live where you live, right? You get to know them, you can buy their product, and in most of the times, you might be paying a couple of dollars or pennies more, but not only that, it's a local product, and as Katie said, I mean, you're supporting your own community, and what best than that? What better than that?
And Charlottesville is so much fun. Like, we have so many things going on all the time. And I remember, like, when I was, or when my mom told me that we were moving here, I was like, I think I was still in high school, about to go to Piedmont, the community college.
Great college, community
so
college.
I was about to start going to Piedmont, and I remember just, like, freaking out because I was like, what am I going to do in Charlottesville? Like, what is there to do there? And then I get here, and it's literally like a town that I've never even thought about. Like, it's just it's so fun here.
It is. It's a great.
Did I say that right?
We talk about it all the time.
It is.
I mean, we
so
talked about
fun.
it this morning. It's incredible how much there is to do here. I mean, granted, the University of Virginia, right, adds a lot to this community, right? Because there's also the vibrancy of the students, et cetera. So that begins to build that community, right? But beyond that, you have the views. Because of the university, you have music, you have sports. Look at the Tosca Opera. I mean, the opera. I mean,
there's so much to do.
There's so much to do.
See.
You can capture so many people's wishes, desires, things that they like to do. And it's in a small town. You don't have to like take 1 hour, take the subways, take a car, and before you know it, you're tired because it took you 2 hours to get there.
Right.
This is like in 10, 15, 20 minutes, you can be anywhere in Charlottesville.
You're there.
In different places.
Absolutely, absolutely. Samantha Wathgen says, that's my tri-G. So proud of you, Katie.
Aw.
So proud of you, Katie.
Gosh.
So, Katie, I mean, where do you see supporting Local Seville in the future? What would you like to see for the future for it?
I just do it for fun and to help people. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, I guess.
Keep having fun.
Yeah,
keep having
going.
fun. keep having fun. Keep having fun. So what's the best way for people to like get in touch with you? Say, hey, I want to reach out to Katie. I want to learn more. I want to follow it. I want to see if I can get my business there. What's the best way?
So go on Instagram and search Supporting Local Seville. That's it.
That's easy.
Easiest thing.
Yep, that'd be
the
great.
easiest thing.
Instagram,
supporting
Local
Local
Seville.
Seville on Instagram.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure if you also if you're watching this on Facebook, on the Today Manana Facebook page, there's a link to, if you go to the one, it's got Katie's nice picture there. You click Supporting Local Seville, and it will take you.
No wonder everybody knows her. There's a picture here. Walking downtown. Hey, I know supporting local business person.
But now this has been fantastic. Tampa did tell you how much we appreciate
Thank you, yes.
what you're doing. It's fantastic, and just the idea of having seen all the amazing local businesses in Charlottesville. It's great to have just that kind of presence that you're building for them on Instagram, because it's a huge presence now, and it's great to see.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And no, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll look forward to having you back on.
Yes,
in the future,
for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course, thanks for coming on.
Keep having fun.
Yep, keep having fun. That's the way to do it. So as we rotate here, and speaking of fun, this is such a great segue. Because
it is. It really is.
Like
it's been
supporting Local Seville, all these different businesses, and of course, one of our favorite things to do with Matthias
is talk about local
is to
businesses.
talk about local businesses and things that we love to do to have fun here in Charlottesville. So I just talked about. I mean, I don't know if Mitch planned it this way, but
he's
nailed
not that good. He's not that good.
He nailed the schedule today. Yeah. So it was just fantastic. So we're really happy to welcome onto the show for our monthly meetup with Matthias, Matthias Yohn of Matthias Yohn Realty. Matthias, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Well, what a pleasure to be back again here.
So good.
And I love the color. Look at that. It's perfect color.
Yeah.
Blue.
As I was sitting in the background, I was learning a lot. First of all, about social media, of course, which I have to improve.
All of us.
We all know we can do better with social media. And then the color combinations. I don't know, do you ever leave the house in the morning and you look at your choice of clothing and you wonder, do those colors match? Is that a good pairing?
Yep. When you got
every once in a while,
you got that favorite shirt that you're like, man, I really liked this color. I really hope I look good in this. you wear it and then you're like, man, I have no idea, but I hope I look good in this. But it's true. It's just you learn so much. I had no idea. About the color combinations.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense, but yeah, it's and again, it's one of those. So here's the situation. We talk about this all the time, right? How many different types of businesses there are, period, and how many you find here in Charlottesville. I mean, I would have never in my wildest imagination thought that existed, that somebody had that, where they look at you, they look at your aura or color. I mean, I'm not sure, I don't do it, right? And then try to figure out what colors make you look best, right? And it's so important.
Make you look younger,
yeah,
more
hopefully.
energetic. Yeah, there's a whole science behind the choice of colors.
Yeah.
That's the amazing part. It's incredible. So I mean, speaking of fun, because I mean we've been talking fun things to do. Summer's here, pretty much. I mean, I know it's not officially. What is it? June
21st.
June 21st, but in
June
Charlottesville,
June 1st.
in
It's
Charlottesville,
close
it
enough.
comes early in Virginia. So summer's here.
true.
First activity or kind of key places you go to, all right, where when you go to this place at this time of year, you're like, okay, it's summer for Matthias, like it's here.
That probably is going into a park with my wife and just the ability to spend time outside without freezing. It's not raining. And
Yep.
you see the colors. There are flowers in the park. The colors are vibrant. The grass is more luscious, and it's just that energy, that feeling of spring, which is a lot of fun to be outside.
Yeah, and it's true, because sometimes you go to a park, like in the winter or whatever, but you're kind of walking fast or whatever because you're a little cold, right? But the nice thing about, especially, I mean, we've had fabulous weather the last few days like this. I mean, this is perfect walking weather. You can be out there all day long. Sometimes, in the summer in Virginia, sometimes you walk out, it's like you're already sweating. It's like, ooh, I don't know how long I can be out there. But
Get back inside
you can
quick.
you go out there and you don't have to rush. You can walk slowly, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the flowers, the grass, whatever it may be, and then go have an ice cream or drink or something. I was thinking, for me, it's like as soon as baseball hits, and even though UVA baseball, they play, sometimes I feel like it's the winter because it's
when
freezing.
it starts, it's the winter.
But
but by the time
once
it's-
baseball hits, it just feels like, okay, that's a summer sport.
Yeah.
You just feel like it's coming. It really is.
Yeah.
When I moved here 9 years ago to Virginia, I was one of those tourists that would go hiking in the summer. Until I learned from locals that's not what you do in the summer. It's too muggy. It's too hot. You go either in spring or in the fall.
Yeah. Especially in the fall.
I did.
spectacular.
I've been dragged on a hike by two guys that they know who they are,
Yeah.
and it was muddy and hot in the summer. I'm like, no, not again. Spring and the fall, and maybe the winter sometimes, depending where it is. But I feel like summer is that time when like all the businesses kind of like you now have the outdoor seating more. And you would go out to places like Castle Hill where you're trying to just like relax. Like if I'm gonna be hot, I kind of want to be under an umbrella, having a cool drink or something like where I'm not doing too much of a strenuous activity. That's more peaceful, relaxing in the summer.
Right, and it's one of the reasons I'm so thankful for our downtown mall, or just in general areas in Charlottesville where you can spend time outside and gather with friends. There are not too many places in the U.S. where you have, where the city got rid of the traffic in order to allow for pedestrians to
Right.
really to gather, like we have it here in the downtown mall.
Yeah.
And it's my impression that this is what Charlottesville is known for in the U.S. I think there's 7 other similar cities that have a downtown mall of this size without any car traffic, and so I think we are fortunate here.
Oh, I
Oh,
agree.
absolutely.
I agree.
It's
I remember
huge.
the night of your rehearsal where we had the dinner. This was Friday night, right?
Yeah, Friday night.
It was packed. I mean, we were walking down, and I realized how many people I hadn't been.
We're downtown.
You could tell that it was a beautiful day. It was just, and you could feel the vibrancy. You could feel the city, right? And that's the beauty of it. You see all the people sitting outside, sitting in restaurants, coming in and out, walking around, and that's what you want. That's what you like. That you can go somewhere, walk around, feel good, have dinner if you want, or like I said, have an ice cream or lemonade, whatever it is you want. It's wonderful. It's and as you mentioned, I mean, it's much more typical in European cities, right?
than
It's
here, yeah.
beautiful to have that in a city like Charlottesville.
Yeah. It's
And
not-
it also makes me appreciate living in a climate zone that has the seasons, 4 seasons.
yes.
And obviously, growing up in Germany, it's similar. how the seasons are structured throughout the year. But having lived in other places as well, for example, in Central America, where you just, sure, you have a rainy and a dry season, but
not this kind of
temperature-wise, it's pretty consistent. And so while we talk about, yeah, it's finally summer and spring, we can spend time outside, I'm also always thankful for a change. You know, that you have the fall and the fall colors, the winter. Sure, sometimes I wish we would have a little bit more snow in the winter here, but
just a little more, yeah, that white, that when you see the landscape blanketed in white, it's a beautiful thing.
But yeah, sometimes we get an inch or two here in Charlottesville. But then again, yeah, I think we are fortunate to have the climate that we have.
Yeah.
Except I could do without the mugginess in the summer sometimes.
August is the
yeah.
rough one for me.
They
Yeah,
call
that
it, they
one's
call it the
like
dog days of summer.
dog days
Yeah.
of summer.
It's like, oof.
It is the rough one. Yeah,
Yeah.
by August you're like, all right, come on, let's either just get to fall or go back to July. Like let's go one or the other.
I mean, I remember even our puppy, you know, Chester. It came. I mean, he'd love to go outside, but came August.
Oh, came August.
He'd go outside,
2
walk
minutes
around.
late.
2 minutes, like I'm
done.
going back in.
I'm
this
back
is
inside.
this is crazy
'Cause it's-
hot out here.
It's muddy. It's muddy. But you're so right. I mean, you think about what we have here in that mall, it's like our town square and place where you can eat outside and see other people. And just, I know you have some favorites down there, some big ones. I know for our giveaway, you picked both Otto Seville, which so Matthias is participating in the giveaway.
Right.
So you did among the many things that we'll cover. There's $50 gift card to Guajiros Charlottesville and a $50 gift card to Otto Turkish food here in Seville,
Two great
courtesy of
places.
Matthias
Yeah.
Jones. So, out of curiosity, those two places, how'd you try to pick them?
Well, obviously there are a number of great restaurants
absolutely,
here in the area, but I picked those two because I have a personal relationship or personal story associated with it. Otto's, the co-owner, Ali, is one of my best friends here in Charlottesville, and probably the first friend I had here when I moved here in 2014. He being Turkish, he has lived in Germany, he speaks German, and we met. My first job was at the Clifton Inn in 2014, which is where he was working at that time, and so we stayed friends, and I observed his journey, and when he opened up the restaurant, Otto's, as we know it now, in the middle of the pandemic, and when everyone was doubting him and the idea and the timing, of course, and location and all that, and now
He did it.
look how
It's-
successful that place is.
Oh, absolutely. It is an endless stream of people in the place. Because you go into Otto at like lunchtime,
Yeah.
tons of people sitting down. You go into Otto at like an hour where there's nobody sitting down. There's still the line of people getting the takeout. Like you'll go there,
okay.
in the
Yeah.
early evening when not a lot of people are sitting inside because it's not quite dinner time yet. And you've got the line of people taking it. What? But it's so good. I mean, the food is just.
And for many years, we were not joking, maybe, having the idea of establishing a Turkish restaurant here in town, which is actually German Turkish, because the food that they are offering at Otto's is the doner kebab it was started by Turkish immigrants in Germany. And now if you travel to Germany, you see doner kebab every street corner.
Wow.
It's probably the number one street food in Germany, even though its origin is in Turkey.
That's amazing.
However, if you travel to Turkey, you don't find the doner kebab we know in Germany or we have at Otto's. So
How
there are
interesting.
variations.
I
of that.
always wondered that because I saw the word and I'm like, this word looks German. Right? But I'm like, but it can't be. I think it's like almost just one of those things that it sounds German, but it's really Turkish. And it very much resembles just, I forget what it's called, like flansel or something. But that it resembled like these meat patties that my now mother-in-law made for me one time, and she's German.
Fleischpflanzerl.
Yes, Fleischpflanzerl. And I was like, when I had the Junior table the first time, I'm like, man, this is just like that. It's amazing how similar it is. But I had no idea that it actually had kind of like a mix of culture origin.
Yeah.
But to be clear, it's not German cuisine.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just the Turks are the biggest minority in Germany, and so they brought their cuisine over. And as a German living in Charlottesville, I'm just happy that Ali and Haldun decided to offer this food to us. And I think the community is receiving it well.
Yeah.
It's obvious, yeah,
And
absolutely.
What's your favorite thing there? Is the Junior kebab?
Yeah, they have the Otto bun, which is something I could have every day.
Yes, that's a good one.
And then the second restaurant that I thought would be nice to support in this giveaway is Guajiros. And so the story for me is the following: those brothers that own Guajiros, even though they offer Cuban cuisine, they're actually from Nicaragua. And I used to live there for a long time. And when I think I read in the newspaper many years ago when they opened up their location up 29 North,
Right.
Next to where that Peruvian chicken place is.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's right next to Al Carbone.
Al
Well, it was
Carbone.
right next to Al Carbone.
Yeah, and obviously it was a much smaller place, but it was already how we know Guajiros now.
Yep.
And I'm just really happy to see them succeed. It's probably one of the top restaurants now that we have in Charlottesville.
I think so.
And they do a good job just offering outdoor patio.
That's a great
They have something
spot.
for the lunch
Yeah,
crowd.
yeah.
We all talk about it all the time. They have maybe the best coffee in Charlottesville.
I think. I mean, if it's just, if you
Certainly
ask me,
Alex and Nick think so. That's for
I
sure.
think so. I think so. It's just such good coffee, the way they make it. Oh.
Everyone here in the studio is nodding.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the breakfast all day is such a good. I mean, their breakfast
I know.
stuff
I had
is
that one day.
just.
For lunch, I had it, but it's so good.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's like one of those top. When you hear breakfast all day, you think like those top. Some of your favorite places, you know what I mean? Your favorite diner, your favorite thing, and right up there for me is Guajiros. When I hear the word breakfast all day, it's like yes, I could eat that breakfast all day.
So my hope is that someone wins those gift cards who has not been to either of those places.
Oh, they'll be.
Oh,
in
there
for
goes
a
that.
treat.
I was hoping to win it myself.
No, you can't win it. Sorry. You've been to You've probably been to both. Have you been to Otto Turkish?
So where is that one?
That's the one. It's on First Street.
No, I haven't.
If I'm correct, right? Is it First?
No,
or-
it's right here on Water Street.
Water Street. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's on the Water Street
Next
side.
to Waterbird, the distillery.
Of course, I know Michael. Yeah.
Oh, so it's a block. Okay, one block different.
Yeah, so I don't think I've been there.
Oh.
No, you
Okay.
guys never
to
take me
take
to the
you.
good
So
spots.
after this show, we're gonna all go there and grab lunch. I'll show you where it is.
You're gonna find out now. You're gonna find out now where it is. No, but that's fantastic. Guajiros. I mean, what can we say? There's some of the sweetest people you will ever meet. I mean, first of all, three brothers, but then their dad is such a nice guy. And
Everybody
then
there is so
everyone there,
friendly.
everyone,
Yes,
the
that's
cousins
nice,
that
yeah.
work there. It's just a beautiful family business that they just do such an amazing job. And I gotta say, I mean, the Cuban sandwiches are legit. I mean, they're Nicaraguan, but they might as well be Cuban.
They figured it out,
In my
yeah.
heart, they're Cuban. I don't know how they feel
Well,
about
the
that.
influence
They're
in Miami
honorary.
they got just was perfect.
It's just
you know,
huge. It's huge. Nick wants to know. So Pam Olmstead, Amber Fox, thanks for liking the show this morning. Nick wants to know your favorite sandwich at Guajiros.
Probably I don't know if that's the name, the Cuban sandwich.
Cubano.
And you find it in many restaurants everywhere in the US, but I think they have the perfect version of it. And I'm not sure if it's originally Cuban, the way they offer it, or if it's just a Miami cuisine. Whatever they do, it works. It's fantastic.
I think El Cubano is. I actually don't know.
I
I know definitely Miami it blew up, but was it a Cuban?
I don't know.
think Cuban
I mean,
immigrants created it when they got
I
here.
think so. I
don't think it
I'm not
existed-
100% sure
yeah.
that in Cuba they had that. Yeah, maybe I'm
Okay, so there's a sandwich called the Medianoche, which they every once in a while you have to be lucky. I think that it's at Guajiros, but it's not there all the time. The medianoche is a similar sandwich. Medianoche just means midnight.
Midnight, yeah.
For those who Matias knows, to speak Spanish, but for anyone who doesn't know, the medianoche, it's a similar sandwich, but on like a sweet bread, almost like a sweet. Would you say a brioche-ish?
Yeah, it's on a sweeter side, but
and it's got the ham, the cheese. A couple other things, the mustard, I think, and then the El Cubano, I think, is like a version that was created when Cuban immigrants came here. But they have theirs. I think I agree with you. I think it's like a classic version.
Yeah, the medianoche was after you came from the Copacabana. You spent that time there.
You need
you needed something to keep going.
If you had too many mojitos, you had to pick up a little bit with a medianoche.
What I also appreciate about those two particular restaurants is how they treat their employees. You can always tell how happy employees are by the frequency they have to replace employees or just staff in general.
Right.
And in those two places, you never see hiring signs outside because people that work there love working there. They stay there.
Yeah.
It's a little family, and it makes a big difference. I think we all know a lot of restaurants here in town that struggle keeping their staff.
That's true. And you can tell by, I would say, the attitude of the server says it all, because when they come and you can see that they're friendly, service-oriented, they're happy, they have to feel good, right? And they feel good because they're happy where they are and, how they're being taken care of.
And I have to confess, I don't know if he's Ali or not, but there's the usually when I walk into Ottawa, it's the same gentleman with a kind of a beard, kind of like mine, that they're to say hello. I walk in the door. First time, he's all the way, you walk up to the counter, he's waving, good to see you, I'm glad you're here. He has no idea who I am. I mean, the first time.
Maybe he saw today and mañana that day.
Maybe. He's the sweetest guy, like saying hello, how you doing? One time, because I love the best thing, for me, my favorite, the fried eggplants are so good. And I said, it's my favorite thing. Could you add? He said, happily. He adds a couple more fried eggplants for me to the top of it because it's just so good.
Oh, I love that too. Oof.
But they're just, you can tell, you feel that it's a good atmosphere and that they treat their employees well. So it's good to see. It's good to see. So as we go into it, so what? Any other places that you're like, all right, summer's here, that you'd recommend people, if you haven't done this in the summer in Charlottesville, you should do this?
Well, obviously downtown mall, and now, since last year actually, that great organization, Friends of Downtown Seaville, so they have a lot of program planned, a lot of events for weekends to get families out there, to include children as well, and not just the bar hoppers and restaurant goers. So there's a lot of engagement. And what I always enjoy are the green spaces here in Charlottesville. I don't know if everyone's familiar with the Ravenna Trail, but then also the Monticello, the Sanders Trail. It's a lot of fun to walk all the way up to Monticello and back. You have, at least something that is in the works is the Botanical Garden of the Piedmont.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
The name is official already, and they have the land. It doesn't have the facilities yet, but that's on the Warner Parkway, where it borders McIntyre.
Okay.
And this is where the land starts. So it's Charlesville City and Albemarle County. So they are land grants for the Botanical Garden, and they are, very busy fighting for donations and grants in order to establish that Botanical Garden. So we can already say in Charlottesville we do have a Botanical Garden, and the more time passes, the more serious it becomes. And I think that's
great.
That's great to know. When I moved to Charlottesville, if I wanted to go to Botanical Garden, I would travel to Richmond, and then very soon we can just hop to our garden here.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic.
That'd be great.
That's amazing. You're so right. The green spaces are really nice here. I also didn't know you could do. I didn't realize you could walk up to that. There was a trail up to Monticello.
I didn't know that either.
I thought you had to take the little shuttle bus, but so that
Yeah,
must be a beautiful walk.
Yeah, I think it's called the Saunders Trail. Yeah, so there's a
Neat.
parking lot at the edge of the hill, and you can walk all the way up.
Oh, is it like across from PBCC?
Exactly.
Oh, I've
Close to
seen the
there,
line
yeah.
of
So you can park
cars.
your car and walk all the way
Yes.
up, and you cross that road that leads all the way up to Carter Mountain, which is another good spot
Great
to be
spot in the summer.
with nice weather. Exactly.
Yes, that's a pop. Yes, I've seen going to PBCC.
Yeah.
There would be certain days, if it's a beautiful day, you could see all these cars parked along the opposite side.
And that's exactly where the
Take
trail starts. Yeah, you should give it a try.
Oh, I'm going to. That sounds beautiful.
know
Because that's the
nice.
perfect thing for me. Like, instead of hiking is a little much in the summer, but those are more relaxing walks and less.
Yeah, you take your time.
Yeah, you're not. Plus, you're not in the middle of like a jungle of trees and flies and mosquitoes. It's like, okay, yeah, more peaceful.
Other kinds of bugs.
More peaceful. Oh, it's Beaton Botanical Garden. Nicholas letting me know. This is like, I feel like I have the producer, in my ear. That the executive director for the Botanical Garden, Jill Trishman Marks, is going to be joining us on today on August
great.
17th. So in August,
okay.
she is
So
going to be
she'll let us
joining us
know
to
what
talk
we're up
about the Botanical Garden,
Fantastic.
so we can learn more about
Fantastic.
that. That's fair. But man, first time I knew about it here. But
You learn something new on this show.
Happy to spread the word.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. This is just, I can't tell you how much I enjoy this segment. It's just, it's such a joy to
No, it
just
is, it is.
be here, talk about favorite things and places and just the places that we love and share and just all the reasons why this is a great place and a very walkable place, I feel, which I know, I think is just a huge draw. I remember when I would read articles about why Charlottesville is we consistently around best places to retire,
Right.
best places to
Or
move
to live in general.
if you were to live in general, particularly at certain ages. But I think when I think of moving to a new place or a city or where you would want to establish a family and home, I think walkability is a really important thing to be able to go downtown or go somewhere where you can walk and not
Exactly.
have to worry about your kids' cars, tons of traffic,
Exactly.
4-lane roads. I mean, I don't know. Is that something that like there's actually research and things on about walkability as an important thing? I mean, you would probably know more about that than I do.
Yeah, so when we compare listings, one of the aspects is actually walkability. And if I had to summarize what buyers of real estate are looking for, yeah, how accessible are amenities, how walkable are they? It's always on top of the list.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's, it doesn't always work that way. But part of the appeal of smaller cities, Charlottesville, or look at Waynesboro, Gordonsville, Orange, everyone who moves there, that's what they enjoy. They can just, leave the car parked and walk to the restaurant or walk to the park.
Right.
And it's quality of life for a lot of people.
It is.
Exactly.
It is, and quickly getting, I think, for me, it's also quickly getting to a trail. In other words, you don't have to drive an hour to get to trails, walks, parks. You drive 10 minutes, 10 minutes. And you're probably I bet you most people in Charlottesville are within 10 minutes of either Rivanna Trail,
Right.
some access point of Rivanna Trail, Monticello Trail, McIntyre Park, Dardentown Park.
Yeah.
No matter where you are, one of those parks is probably going to be within 10 minutes of you.
Yeah, as a resident of Charlottesville, you really have no excuse to not participate in an active lifestyle.
Exactly. That, especially now that it's the season
Yeah,
for
this,
it.
this is perfect
It's
season
the
right
season
now.
for it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So just, if you're like me, take that allergy medicine and go outside. Take the Flonase, take the Zyrtec, go outside and enjoy it. I walk to the downtown mall, eat a little something. Soon it's going to be ice cream time.
Yeah. Well, it already
it's-
is. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it never really
Always
is.
ice cream
Yeah.
time, no?
It's always ice cream time. That's true. That's true. But Matthias, this has been such a pleasure. Always.
Thank you. It's always fun.
I would love the time just flies on this segment. I know, you put the you just in your head, you've got the 50, 20 minutes, and we've been here for like 25, 30 minutes. I love it.
And I just realized all we spoke about is food. So
is there anything
clearly
better?
on our mind, right?
Is there anything better?
One of the qualities of where we live. Right?
Yeah,
That's right.
It is.
Yeah.
It's one of the great joys of Charlottesville.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
it's one of the things we do 3 times a day is eat, right?
Yeah.
So it's nice when we have good food.
You were saying, speaking of which.
thanks so much for having me again.
Oh no,
It's been a pleasure, always.
It's
Always
always
nice.
a pleasure. Each time now, I had to tell you, every time it ends, I'm like, okay, when's the next one? So it's just fantastic to have you on here, and thanks so much for the giveaway. I know some lucky person who's not at Xavier is gonna be able to go to Duajitos and Autos.
Not allowed to take part.
Duajitos and Auto Civo. And so be sure to.
But that's all. I
to
mean,
check that out.
listen, that giveaway is unbelievable.
It's tremendous. I mean, speaking of Friends of Civo, there's a $100 gift card that they have contributed to a participating downtown mall business.
Wow.
So there's a whole web page with a list of businesses that will take this $100 gift card from Friends of Civo.
So you got that. You got the Guajitos.
You got
right?
Guajitos, you got Auto Civo, thanks to Matthias.
You got Castle Hill.
You got 2 VIP tickets to 231 Fest. That's
Wow.
worth $230. 2 tickets to Guys and Dolls.
Holy cow!
You've got coffee from Tida Specialty Coffee. So if you love the coffee at Guajitos,
Right.
you can get 2 bags, a bag of it, and 2 cafes from Tida
boy.
Specialty Coffee. A summer bouquet, but from Flower Girl Seville that has been on the show,
Right.
And 2 free pizzas and drinks by Popito's Pizza, which is great pizza. By the way, I mean, there's few
Holy
things better.
cow.
Grab the pizza.
All that.
Grab the pizza. Go to the park
Yeah.
and have a picnic. It's fantastic. So I mean, there's so much going on. So you are.
That's a great giveaway.
That's
Holy
a huge
Toledo.
thing. So and literally, all you got to do is you got to follow the Instagram account,
Follow the instructions.
like the post, and tag 2 friends. You don't even have to join a mailing list. Normally, that most giveaways you have to join the mailing list.
Yeah.
Like they get your email or your phone number,
Right.
and then you're in trouble. You don't even have to do that this time. You can just get all this free stuff.
Next time we'll get them, right?
Yeah, really, the only really 4th requirement is your name can't be Xavier Erpy. You know, if it's that, unfortunately, you
So
can't
I can
win.
change my name and I can submit. Is that what it is?
Yeah, if you
Okay, there you are.
If you come in with the name change documentation, we'll permit it.
Joe Cool. There you are. That's him. That looks just like him.
There you go. So it's Matthias. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you,
on.
Matthias.
It's been
Appreciate
a
it.
pleasure.
Always nice.
Always.
See you
always
next
fun.
time.
See you
Absolutely.
next time. See you next time.
Before you know it, it'll be next time
I know.
tomorrow, probably.
I know. This is awesome. Wow. And just how great all these amazing. Funny, I come back from the honeymoon and I'm like, dang, $700 worth of giveaway.
And you can't participate
And I
either.
can't participate either.
I was going to say, if I can't, you can't.
That's
I
killing
just want to
me.
make
It's killing
sure
me.
that
I'm like, oh my goodness. I'll have to stop hosting the show for a couple of weeks just to participate.
you're calling Elizabeth now.
So be
Elizabeth,
sure
you
to
can
do that. I
participate.
mean, you can do it both on Facebook and Today Mañana Instagram.
Okay.
There's tons of posts. Any one of the posts is the whole post. You've got the post just giving away the post just mentioning the Auto Church Street Food. You have the post just mentioning Guys and Dolls. I mean, any one of those posts, just follow the instructions and you can get up to $700 worth of giveaway stuff.
That's
so be sure to
amazing.
do that if you've been watching today. Don't let
Do
this
it now. Go.
Do it now. Like, don't let this opportunity
Don't
pass
wait.
you by. Otherwise, you're going to forget. Like, if you're
That's
like me,
what
you're going to
happens.
forget.
Yeah, that's what happens.
So don't let that happen
Yeah.
to you, because these are amazing gifts there. Man, this has been
That's fun.
so
always,
much fun.
It's always
I mean,
fun. It's always fun.
It's a good welcome back.
It certainly
You know,
is.
if I was going to leave behind the shores of the lakes in Switzerland, this would be the reason to do so.
To give away,
Just to give away $700
$700
worth of amazing local things here in Charlottesville. So thanks to everyone participating too.
Yeah.
Some great local businesses. We love them all. I mean, Flower Droseville, Papito's Pizza, Guajitos, Otto, Matthias, the Charlottesville Opera, Guys and Dolls, man. Friends of Seville, so many. Tida Coffee, I mean, it's just so much These are great businesses.
They really are.
Castle Hill Cider. I mean, what can we say about Castle Hill
Very
Cider?
generous of them all.
Well, yeah. What
Yeah.
can we say about these amazing businesses here in this area? So we are blessed to be here for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Next week, also going to be lots of fun. Also a trifecta next week as well.
Oh, wow.
We're going to be joined by Chef Bin. So I think he's a local chef. It seems to be. Castle Hill Cider is going to be joining us. Seville Opera, because we're doing the giveaway next week. So you have a week. You still have plenty of time. You have 7 days inclusive.
But do it now, because you're gonna forget.
because you're going to forget. So do it now, and we will be picking out that name. I don't know how Nick intends for us to do it. He'll probably give us all these instructions about who's picking the name and everything. But it'll happen next week.
I bet Joe Cool wins. That's all I can say.
Joe Cool. We'll find out. If Joe Cool wins, we're in trouble. We're going to get sued or something.
Sued.
But and of course, be sure to check out all these amazing things. So I mean, your lineup is right here. June 10th, 231 Fest. Right, Saturday. June 23rd, 24th, 25th, the Dies and Dolls, Charlottesville Opera. July 1st, the Festival, ALL.
Yeah.
All are welcome at the festival at the Teen Pavilion right here in the downtown mall,
right here.
Charlottesville Opera. So you can go have dinner, and then you can go down to the Teen Pavilion and enjoy a great festival, learn a little bit more, introduce the kids to some great music and fun. There's fun activities there too that you can do. July 14th and 16th, Tosca. So I mean, there's just so much to do.
There is.
And so it's going to be a great summer here. And it sounds like Friends of Seville also has some great things that are going to be lining up to do at the downtown mall this summer. So, I mean, you have no excuses. And Matthias said there's no excuse.
No excuse. That's
to not
right.
be active this summer.
Exactly.
So it's going to be fantastic. Looking forward to it. Thanks, of course, to everyone who came on today. Thanks to our amazing partners that we've got here: Charlottesville Opera, Castle Hill Cider, Matthias Yon Realty, Credit Serious Insurance, Forward Adelante, and of course, our presenter, Emergent Financial Services. Thanks to I Love Seville. We do love Seville. We love being here on the set. Thanks, Judah, behind the camera, making it all work today. Thank you for being with me. Thanks to everyone who, I mean, so many amazing people. Thanks so much for liking and sharing. Great questions. Katie Pearl, I know we have put the local Seville, the support local Seville. Nick has put that into a few of the comment sections on the different pages we're streaming, I believe, especially the Today y Mañana Facebook page, so that you can get in touch with Katie Cox that way. So thanks for your great questions. Thanks, of course, great comments. Scott Hamler, thanks for watching the show. Everyone, really appreciate all you do. We wouldn't be here without you watching and interacting. Be sure to send us local businesses our way. We love to feature them. We look forward to seeing you next week. But until that time, as we like to close it out on the show, to say this again after a few weeks, hasta mañana.